especially now.
What do you think about, crying is bad in the business, or never show your weaknesses?
And that's the most beautiful thing that I can share with the world.
Could you lead us through a quick prayer?
I would love that.
Today's episode of Model to Masters is brought to you by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is your best friend on your road to YouTube success. I use it every day on my channel to get more views and subscribers, automate the boring tasks, and split test my thumbnails and titles. I've done over 3,800 split tests, which have led to results like taking this 5-year-old video that was getting 250 views a day, and just by changing the thumbnail, it blew up to 15,000 views per day. You can get started on TubeBuddy for free at tubebuddy.com/Evan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the super talented, successful singer, actress, entrepreneur, leader of the Allegiance, and now,
Yes.
now author of the new book right here, Finding Your Harmony. We got it, matching colors.
I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you have it. I hope you love it.
Allie Brooke in the house. How you doing?
Yes. I'm doing great. You know what's funny? I actually got 1 hour of sleep last night. So I'm here in Atlanta filming a movie, and we filmed very late last night. But despite just having 1 hour of sleep, I feel great. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm thriving. So it's all good. And I'm happy to be talking to you today. Thank you.
Well, you're crushing it for 1 hour sleep. So
Trying.
Why a book? So you've done so many things. You had the group, you had the solo, and you're still doing the solo stuff. You've been on so many shows. Why a book? Why now? Tell us the story behind it.
Yes. So I've been through so much in my little life, even though I'm super young. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to share everything that I've been through, all the highs and lows, the trials and tribulations, the struggles, and be real, bear my truth, bear my story, and use this to hopefully help other young girls who have the same dreams as me, or who just want to survive another day. People need hope, especially now. And I've had those moments where I've had victory mountaintop moments that feel phenomenal. And I've also had those moments where I've been crying on the floor, like praying to God, why is this happening? God, will I ever live my life to the fullest? Will my dreams ever come true? And now living in a place where I'm so fulfilled, I've overcome so much, and I'm truly living my best life right now. I just want to share that with people, share that hope and wisdom and all that I can in my heart, in my book.
I love it. Now, you talk about your grandma a lot in this book.
Oh, yeah. My beautiful grandma.
She seemed to be such a source of inspiration as well as support for you.
Yeah.
And there's so many pictures of her in here, and you see her growing up with her. And obviously, so she's not here, and she didn't get to see the launch of your book and everything that's happened. From her kind of looking down from where she's at right now, what do you think she's saying? What do you think she's thinking, cheering you on with the new book?
Well, so I think you're probably talking about my dad's mom. And oh my gosh, she would be so proud. I lost her at a very young age. And she would be just beyond proud. And, the other night when my book came out, and it was midnight, I FaceTimed my parents, and they were just crying, and they were so overjoyed. And this is something that is not just for me, but it's for my family. It's their story too in this book. And that's the most beautiful thing that I can share with the world, is that light that they deserve. And my dad was just saying, he was like, Mama, she would be so proud. And he got really emotional. And seeing her photos in this book, it's very, very special. So she would be proud, and she would be smiling, and she would be getting all of the copies that she could. I know she would. Yes. Oh, my beautiful grandma.
I love the how personal you made everything. Yeah. There you go. Matching pages.
Look how beautiful she was. And that's me and my brother, Brandon. She's an angel.
I love how personal you made everything. And I love how you also put pictures in here, but also like full on glossy pictures to really kind of show, to show your life and show what you've been through. And people may think you haven't been around that long, but you've been singing since you were 9 years old, right? It's not like you just popped up and came out of nowhere.
Totally. And that's a thing that maybe people don't realize. Sometimes you see these artists or entertainers and you're like, oh, wow, it must have been so easy for them, or their success was very rapid or overnight or whatever, but it is not. I have been at this for so many years and have been through it all, rejection and even people just being rude, everyone in the industry, from like different labels to different managers, just kind of tearing me apart and saying that, hey, I don't believe in you, you're not worth anything, blah blah blah, and it breaks you. But again, just pushing through that and being triumphant, coming out on the other side is so incredible, and it's so important to share, because so many people go through that where they hear so much negativity, whether it could be in their workspace or on social media. But again, just being reminded that there's light. There's a light. So that's my purpose.
I love it. Now, you said you were shy growing up. Are you still shy? Did you break it? Is it still in you? Like, how do you?
God. No, I am not shy. Well, it's funny because now, and I really honestly do attribute this to one of my heroes, Selena. When I was a young girl, like you said, I was super shy, but watching her personality in her movie, and I do talk about it in the book, she inspired me to be my best self and to come out of my shell. And so I feel like I get so much of my inspiration from her. But now I'm totally the opposite. I'm not shy. I love talking to everybody. In fact, I thrive off of conversations and meeting my fans in person. And it's such a bummer that I can't do that. We were planning this whole book tour and all, but it's okay. I actually have a virtual book tour tonight. And of course, we have technology now, which is awesome. But what's funny, though? I will admit, when it comes to me meeting like certain celebrities, I actually get like starstruck, and I kind of just close off and I become shy.
Who's the ultimate on your list that you still want to connect with and say hi to?
Ooh, oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, I talk about Carrie Underwood in this and how she helped to bring me out of such a low place in my life, and how her music kind of just brought so much life into me and light. So to be able to meet her and just to say what her music means to me, she's such an inspiration for many years. That would be incredible. Also, Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton so much.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome. There's so many different artists out there who I love, but those are a few.
Is that part of your ambition to have, like, if you think about the longevity, how long has Dolly Parton been in the business and still going? Like, is that part of the inspiration? Is like, I look at her and say, when I'm, maybe that old, but in a nice way, I would still love to be doing the work, right? To still be contributing. Yes. I don't sing, but I make videos. Is that part of why you love her?
Oh my gosh, yes. And what I love about, she's just like an angel. What I love about her is that she is just such a pure-hearted, loving, beautiful soul. And, in this business, that's sometimes not celebrated. I mean, I've been told before that, oh, you're too nice, or, oh, you gotta like be someone else, you gotta be a little more rude or whatever, crazy things. And it's like, no, it's possible. And for me, it's all about longevity, and that's why I do what I do. I have passions in so many areas, obviously writing, obviously music, now acting, and just entertaining in general. And it's about not just the next year or two, it's about the next 20 years, 30 years. So that's definitely what I aspire to be like one day, and also just to be known, not for any drama or anything like that, but just to be known for the music and hopefully the heart. So I love
I love
dogs.
it. So, I mean, the book, here it is, Finding Your Harmony. You guys can pick it up on YouTube. We'll link it up in the description. What's the most, I'm sure there's so many stories that came out of this. Obviously, you're sharing your story, but the reaction that's come out. What's the story that fills you up the most, or you're most grateful for, or whether it's fan or family that's come from the launch of the book?
Just to hear the feedback of how people really saw my heart in this and how it inspired them and their faith and their walk, and them to not give up hope is incredible. That is the purpose of this book. And then also saying my fans are now, they haven't read it yet, but they're getting into it and on certain chapters, and they're so moved, and I see their comments right now, and they're crying with me. They're relating to my stories, and they're hopefully going to see that, hey, I went through everything that you are going through. It may be in a different sphere, but it's still all the same. Pain's the same. Rejection's the same. Online bullying's the same. And for me, I give so many tools and tips in the book on how to overcome that, how to survive it, and how to just get through life. So just hearing so far that it's already touched people, and also they just love my parents, and they get that recognition that I saw a comment, I think yesterday, saying like, oh my gosh, I'm just beginning your book, and your parents, I just want to hug them. It's incredible. It's the best feeling. They deserve the world.
Talk about showing emotion, because you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're so, open in sharing, I mean, the big highs, but also the devastating lows and the crushes, and you can feel the crying kind of with you through some of the sections of the book. What do you think about, crying is bad in the business, or never show your weaknesses, like that whole line of thinking? What would you say to them?
I think certain mottos work for certain people. For me, this business, look, people handle it differently. You know what I mean? And like, I remember, oh my gosh, there was a point where I didn't even put this in the book, but one example, we were at an award show, and last minute, I think there was a huge change, and I was being told, because I think it had to do something with wardrobe or something, and there was all this pressure on me, and all of these like just crazy, I don't want to say accusations at all, but basically I was trying to stand up for myself and say, hey, like, I'm not comfortable with this and that. And then this person tells me, demeans me, and it's like, you're not a woman. Stop crying. You need to not show emotion. You need to be a leader, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like over here right before we perform, crying my eyes out. And she was like an assistant, or day-to-day manager, excuse me, who witnessed this. And she was like, Allie, don't you dare listen to what that woman said. You are amazing. I don't know how you just took that right now. You took that way better than I would. Don't let her words affect you. And I just felt like, wow. Like, I felt so just shattered, and embarrassed, humiliated, and your mind's just second guessing yourself. I feel like because of that, and also seeing in the Fifth Harmony days, like, oh my gosh, Allie's like crying or whatever. Like you said, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm emotional, but not in like a extreme way. I feel like it's more of, I just feel things deeply. Like, I'm an empath. I'm a deep feeler. I say that in my book. And so when things hurt, it really tears up my heart. And when things are incredible, I mean, it just feels like I'm touching the sky. But anyways, with that thinking, look, it works for a lot of different people. Yes, I feel like I've definitely worked on kind of being a little bit more stronger and honing in my emotions. But I think, especially as women, like, we want to, cry because something devastating happened, or we're overwhelmed or whatever. I mean, that's fine. You should feel safe. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously handling that in the correct way and managing your emotions in a healthy manner. But yeah, I just feel like each to their own, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was super refreshing. I get a lot of entrepreneur and kind of business books, and everybody's kind of all got the answers, and they're all figured out, and you're perfect, and you're trying to learn from this person, and here you are with this like super raw, authentic, and still giving advice and coaching, like, hey, here are the things that help me, but not pretending to have it all figured out and that you're perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just owning that and saying, hey, here's my walk and here's my advice, what helped me, and we're doing it together. That's what I love, is that we're on this journey together.
I love it. Now, you talk about being a people pleaser and how that kind of hurt you, in getting started in the business. Is that still there? Does that go away? Is it just evolve? Like, where are you at with that now?
It's crazy. I feel like, again, I learned so many lessons in Fifth Harmony, and now I'm just so different. Like, I think there always will be a people pleaser inside of me, as far as just, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to upset anyone. But I've gotten so much better at being like, no, I'm not going to tolerate this. No, I'm not going to do this. And yes, I want to do this. I'm comfortable. Let's try to make that happen. Kind of just owning myself, my power, as a woman, as an artist, as an entertainer, and my value and my worth. And for the first time feeling like that in my life, it is crazy. It is such a rewarding feeling. And, again, just going from being just stomped all over for so many years in this business, just kind of bowing my head, saying yes to everything, but inside not being fulfilled, not being treated with respect, not being not being shown my value, and my worth. Now I'm at a place where I'm owning that, and it's so awesome. And I want to encourage all the women out there to own that and to not be afraid. And, it's not easy sometimes, especially when, you're met with like different opinions or opposition, but just standing strong in your truth and who you are and what you want is incredible. And we have the power to do that and be that.
So pulling on that thread, you talk about your worth especially when you're first getting started and you want to believe in your worth, but it's shaky, it's like you kind of don't believe in your worth and you don't know if you're going to make it. And then you get voices around you saying, you suck, you're never going to make it, you're too, X, Y, Z from the industry. And then you get the fans saying, all of these things. How do you keep going? How do you maintain that worth to say, no, I am worthy, I can do this? Like, what did you do?
Well, number one, as you'll see in my book, is just my faith, relying on like what God says about me and relying on that truth, and my family and my friends who know me, having them be there for me, giving me advice, lift me up, remind me of my value and my worth, and to stand strong in that has really helped me. Also, therapy. Therapy is really great if you can get it. It's awesome. And if you can't get therapy, there are so many videos out there to help you and so many different interviews that you can check out. But, it helps just working on yourself, identifying certain issues, even traumas that maybe you have like tucked away or you're just trying to block out. It's so empowering, but all those things really helped me to navigate those feelings and those challenges. And I also feel like I'm at a point in my life where now I'm just like, no, like I know who I am, and I'm gonna believe that and value it. And on those days where I feel, not the best, then I turn to, my friends, therapists, parents, fans. Fans are awesome. They always make me smile, but that's my advice.
Is there a certain prayer you would say when you're really struggling, or a conversation you would have?
Well, kind of just whatever is happening. Like, for example, if I don't know, was like, okay, so after the X Factor, when my audition aired, just kind of praying like, God, please comfort me. And also kind of saying like, why did you let this happen? And like being real and being honest with my feelings, but also just saying like, please help me through this situation. Help me to see that there is a light out there and that there is hope, and help me to not give up. Just being so honest of what